Welcome to part 3 of Julien Pineau, athletic coach, versus Vicky Lee, success coach. Julien is a movement specialist to world-class athletes and featured guest on Barbell Shrugged. Vicky Lee is a success coach to CEOs and Dean's Fellow at Harvard University. Julien's specialty is finding the key log, the one thing that will make or break an athlete. Throughout this 8-video series, Vicky is going to find Julien's key log, the one thing holding him back from unlimited success. In the previous video, Julien identifies with his gift, the part of him which is the Jedi. He does not identify with his ego, the part of him which is the Spartan. In this video, Vicky tells Julien that his power has two sides. On one side of his power is everything that makes Julien human. On the other side of his power is everything that makes Julien a god. The identity crisis Julien is experiencing is which side of his power should he feed? His individual personality, ego wants, and the needs of his body? Or his universal gift, talent, and intellect, and the needs of his soul? Julien has been overfeeding the Jedi side of his power and has starved the Spartan side of his power. When he does that, look at what happens to his power. The side which is unmanageable is a side he was feeding, nurturing, and sacrificing his whole life to build. In order for his power to be balanced, Julien must honor the lower, heavy, dark side of his power as much as he honors the higher, effortless, light side of his power. He is both the Spartan and the Jedi equally. Then his power becomes his force, something he can lift and wield to better humanity. Watch how Julien discovers that his power is not balanced.
What are you thinking? Knowing a little bit about my background, how can you utilize me? What do you want to get out of today?
I would like to have, not necessarily a roadmap, but an idea on how, what I want is to create the field of movement specialist. That's what I want, because that's the way I'm going to make the wheel move a little bit faster. And that means going into the world.
Okay,
leaving
so
my cave.
When I hear you say that, so when people talk, I see it visually. So when you say that, I get this movie image of Madame Curie, who discovered the radioactive material radium. So what I see in my mind is she did exactly what you did. She discovered a radioactive material. She put her hand in it and immediately died from cancer, but she defined her field.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I don't like to, when you say that, which is okay, but that, for me as a coach, I don't like to hear that because that means you're going to do something really special and die.
Hope not.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, you just gave me a snapshot of what you are willing to do. So I'm going to write, what am I willing to do? I'm willing to do something incredible and special and worth winning the Nobel Prize for. And if I die poor, alone, and sick, it's okay, because you know what? I've defined my field so that others in the future can, elaborate on it. What's going through your mind when I say that?
I'm completely unafraid of it.
Okay. But it doesn't serve you. That serves your gift. And we talked about this before. Every time you give the gift power, it becomes your master. Here's your master. And your master, at this point, has a bigger cage. And then here's the Jedi. And he doesn't have a fucking cage. So I was going to say he had a small cage, and if his cage has to be bigger than that cage, but he doesn't even have a cage.
He's outside.
So he has no ability to master the master. And let me get this straight. I need the Jedi to be the master of millions of athletes and human beings, of You said it. My goal was to better humankind. I need the Jedi to be a master of humankind. And if he cannot even master himself, because once he masters them, he can set them free. But if he cannot even master what is within him, if I cannot even master what is within me.
So it's selfishness on my part.
It's selflessness. You don't have a self. You've become a devotee of your God. And I thought this was your God.
Still.
When did we do a switch? What happened? I thought this was your God.
It is. Still.
That guy's kicking your ass. If you are willing to give your life to your power, this isn't going to work. You have to be willing to live your life, not give it away.
Okay, but here comes the wrestling part. It's always wrestling. Like, where does selfishness start? Then, you know, I mean, you have to. I mean, it's not about serving the gift, but still, you have to be able to devote yourself to a part of it. So,
there you go.
In order to serve humankind, there has to be a balance. Exactly.
Right.
There has to be a balance in between.
All right. So, what I want you to do, I want you to like this, and then I need Julien to do this, and then you give some to the master. And then you have to do this. And then you give some to the master. And then you have to take. You have to give, take, give, take. Give a little, take a little. Give more, take more. Give a lot, take a lot. But whatever you give, you have to be willing to take, or the whole universe falls apart.
So take as much as you give.
Yeah. If you are out of balance at all,
that I agree.
Your power
it
becomes
work.
Uncontrollable.
Yes.
And this is a WOD, the power WOD. It's called give and take. And the more you give and take, if you increase weight on both sides, the more power you acquire.
So when you say take,
yeah,
what does that entail exactly?
I sacrifice my life to the science of movement. I want to get paid.
Yeah.
I don't do shit for free. If you're not, you know, find a sponsor. Figure it out.
They have to earn their way. Yeah.
You know?
I can accept that.
I need, you know, what Julien wants and what the gift wants. So yeah, I do have a personality.
Yeah.
Over here, I am a Jedi. When I give to the master, I am being a Jedi. But over here, I'm being a badass, whatever I like to do or eat or whatever, but I'm not the Jedi. I'm the Jedi when I'm growing my power. And then I'm just me when I'm living my life. But you have to live your life as equally as you give.
So I have to define one.
Are we missing this side of the yin? And
no, I understand exactly what you mean. But that...
Okay, what do I mean? Tell me what I mean.
What I need, I know exactly what I need.
What do you mean?
I need to play chess, I need to do jiu-jitsu, I need to feed that part of my brain that I don't... Things like that. That, you know, that's the same thing. Chess, BJJ, all that stuff is that part of the brain that feeds on that kind of game, basically. I need that.
This is what you need. You need to be as human as you are God. Or you can't help anybody.
Yes.
And you are all about here being the God and the human side.
It gets lost, yeah.
So so that's what's happening.